All right. So I was asked, what skills, certifications, or degrees do you need to get into IT? So, my opinion, right? I mean, opinions are whatever. I'll tell you my experience and then I'll tell you what I suggest. So, my experience was I went through all the boot camps, especially those, you know, businesses that charge $1,000 for a boot camp. I did three of them, maybe three of them, I think. Ultimately, it came down to like $7,500. I think that 7,500 was a waste. If I had known better, I would have simply did what I later did. And let me tell you how I found out. So on one of those boot camps, I simply asked the guy, "Hey, if you had to start all over today, what would you go learn?" He told me I would learn the cloud. When he told me that, I literally had maybe 2 or 3 weeks left of the boot camp. I didn't return. And the reason I didn't return is because that same night I went and just started looking at videos on YouTube about the cloud. I learned about AWS, I learned about Azure, I learned about GCP. And from learning about those cloud platforms, I also saw individuals who had passed those tests within a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And I decided that's the path I would go on. As I looked through job postings that had, the career that I wanted to get into, which was basically computing in general, somewhere within the tech space, I saw a lot of these certifications. From that, research, I went on and realized that AWS is like the biggest, and then comes Azure, and then comes GCP and things like that. I decided to go after AWS. So remember, I still had like 3 weeks, 3 weeks left of that boot camp. Within a month of that time, because I left the $5,500 that I gave them behind, I ended up studying and taking my first AWS Cloud Practitioner test. Now, the first one I failed, truthfully. I did. It is what it is. I think that failure is a part of the process, so if you fail, don't beware. But the second one, I passed. And after I passed, what helped is that I had that expertise, which now I can say that I'm a cloud practitioner, specifically through AWS. But B, it also gave me the opportunity to post that information on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is what I think got me my job, but not from doing job applications. It was from consistently posting about tech, IT, cloud security, cloud computing, how computers worked, and the little content that I would make on LinkedIn. And every time I would get a cert or a micro cert, I would post that on LinkedIn. And eventually that drew people who were looking for individuals who had those skills to me. And those recruiters are what eventually caused me to get a role. So, in my opinion, would I go that route again? I would. I wouldn't waste the $7,500. I would literally just go and take the $100 entry level certifications through the three big clouds. So if I choose the AWS route, I would go and get a cloud practitioner. Do I suggest that? It's based on preference, but that's not what I suggest. If I went the GCP route, I would get their, I think it's called Digital Cloud Leader. Do I suggest that first? I wouldn't suggest that first. And if I went the Microsoft route, which is what I suggest, I would get the AZ900 or the MS900. Either one can start you off and get you going forward on that journey. In my opinion, get the MS900 first. You'll learn all of the tools, the capabilities, what Microsoft does. And to be honest, when you get your first job, you're probably going to be working with more MS900 tools. And then I would go and get the AZ900. I have both of those. I'm actually certified in all three clouds. So I have the AWS Cloud Practitioner. I have the MS900, AZ900, the GCP Digital Cloud Leader. I have all of those, but I only have them because I want to be confident in every interview I may have, but more importantly because I want to be as skilled as possible. I'm simply curious in this space, so my curiosity leads me to go and get more and do more and learn more and figure out more. And if I just so happen to hear something, I go and just learn it. So my opinion is all three of those tests, the entry-level cloud certifications or the entry-level computing certifications for Microsoft, AWS, and Google, they all cost $100. My suggestion is, if you want to get into the game, if you want to get into tech, into IT, you don't necessarily need a degree, but a degree would be great so that you can know how everything works. My suggestion is go and at least watch all of Professor Mess's videos about A+, and watch all of Professor Mess's videos about Network Plus, and watch all of Professor Mess's videos about Security Plus. And then go to Free Code Camp, which is another channel here on YouTube, and watch their videos about either AWS Cloud Practitioner, Digital Cloud Leader, or the AZ900, the MS900. Watch those videos. Go online, get the practice tests, get the dumps, consistently do the tests. And from there, you can start to create a path where you will get IT roles and opportunities. If I were to start today, how would I go about doing this? So if I were to start today, first thing I'd do, Free Code Camp, I'd go on their page. I would watch MS900, the entire video. It's probably hours and hours long. I don't know how long. But I would watch that video to get familiar with the terms and kind of how everything works and how it's explained. A good time to watch it is whenever you're traveling or whenever you are, and when I say traveling, I'm talking about going back and forth while you're in a car. It's easy for me to focus that way. Or like when I'm in the shower, I let the videos play. Or when I'm cooking or making my breakfast for the day, I get up and I let these videos play. And from gathering that information, I would then go to learn.microsoft.com, utilize this tool so that you can go through the MS900 course that they have. Every time you complete a module on that course, you get a micro cert, which is this little certification that you can put on your LinkedIn. The reason I say it's little, you don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is finish the module and answer the questions. The questions are typically like 2 to 3 questions. It's not even that difficult. So do that. Right after that, every time you complete a module, put it on your LinkedIn. They give you the free options there to put on your LinkedIn showing that you know this skill. Immediately after that, I would take all the practice tests I can via Microsoft's website, which is learn.microsoft.com, and then via just go to Google and search free practice tests for MS900. I take all of those tests. Then the next thing I do is take the test. The test costs $100. Take the test. If you made it to this far in this video and you're one of the first 50 comments that say, I'm going to take the test, give me your date, get on the phone with me, I will pay for the test for you, because it's just so simple. And people should get into the game, and you should come over here and get yourself in position to have a prospering career. But don't go spend all of that money on tools and education and boot camps and all the stuff that you don't need. The 3 big providers of the cloud, which are GCP, Azure through Microsoft, and AWS, they all give information for free. AWS's free one is skillbuilder.aws. GCP's free one is google.cloud or googleplatform.cloud, one of those two. Just literally go on and put in Google Cloud certifications in your Google search and it'll pop up. They give all of these testing modules for free, and then you'll have to pay $100 to actually take the test. That's how I would go about it. And I'd be consistent on my LinkedIn, because your network will get you a role. Good luck.